Hi guys, my name is Will and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Resident Evil movie that's coming up next year, directed by Zach Kreger, I think it is. He is obviously director and writer of Weapons and the movie Barbarian. So he's directing the new Resident Evil movie and he's co-writing it. So this is going to be what I want for the movie and what I don't want for the movie, and just give you my overall thoughts. So here we go. So a lot of the things that Zach Kreger says, I'm kind of mixed on it as a Resident Evil fan of the games. When he says he's not going to copy the games, I get that in a sense because he wants to do his own thing with his own protagonists and his own characters. I get that, but it hasn't done well with the past movies when you don't follow the games. I pray to God he is different because I really want a good, like, tight knitted Resident Evil movie that fans can rejoice over, sort of thing. So here's what I want in the Resident Evil movies, or the Resident Evil movie. So I want tension right from the get go. These games were built on having the players tense. This is a sort of anxiety that never lets up ever. These games are built on that. I don't know how he's going to direct this into the movie, but I want survival horror elements into it. There's probably, I can't think off the top of my head how you could do it, but there's definitely ways you could do it. So I pray that he does, in fact, put survival horrors into the movies. I want downright terror. For example, in the first game, when you're in the Spencer Mansion, when you open that door and you first see the first ever zombie in the game, where you walk round the corner and it cuts to a cutscene, and the zombie kind of turns its head slowly and just looks at the player. I can remember when I was a child, played this game with my sister, didn't know what to expect from it. This was the very first time I've ever seen it, ever played it for the PS1, and we just looked at each other in pure terror. Like I actually had to turn the game off, and I couldn't play it because it was that terrifying. Also, I was a little guy, child, so I couldn't. Obviously, later on down the line, I played it, completed it a million times. Just that first instinct of terror, that's what I wanted to go into the cinema and feel, that same terror that I did all those years ago. And what I want for this movie, is I want the feeling of utter isolation, like complete and utter isolation. That ramps all the horrors up to like 10, 11 scale. And the very first, I'm going to keep talking about the games here as well, because I do feel it fits in. Well, he's making a Resident Evil movie, they are games first and foremost. So, for instance, in the first game, the Spencer Mansion, well, firstly, you're in the Arklay Mountains in the forests. You go into the Spencer Mansion, you've got, just taking it from the Jill Valentine perspective, you've got Jill Valentine, Barry Button, and Albert Wesker. They eventually get separated, so you're still in a group. There's still people there in the group, But when you walk off yourself as a player, you're complete and utter isolation. It's tense because you don't know what's around every corner. The scene, the whole mansion scene is absolutely terrifying. The music in this movie has to match the tension. I hope and I feel that the music is going to play a vital role in the horror of this movie, because in the games, that's what it was all about. You were alone, you were isolated, you have anxiety, you were nervous, terrified, but the music made that also. So yeah, that is what I want for the Resident Evil movies. So now I'll talk about what I don't want, and I don't think this director is going to do the things I don't want, which I like and appreciate, because I feel that he is grassrooted in the horror franchise and the horror of the movie. So one thing I don't want is any true action. Like, as an action, I mean like the Resident Evil movies, from the early 2000s or the later games. I don't want any of that. I don't mind that, and maybe if I don't know how many movies he's doing. I wouldn't mind that maybe in the third, fourth movie where it ramps up the action. But I just want this ground rooted in survival horror in the complete horror aspect. Obviously, shooting zombies, shooting lickers, shooting big. Oh, I want spiders in this movie. That's what I got to say. I want big ass spiders like in the games. I want maybe a boss fight. I want him to fight the tyrant, which I doubt. There's a snake. Any of that sort of element, I want that in the movie as well. I want a boss fight. It doesn't have to be tyrant or the snake or whatever. I just want a big bad in the movie, like Nemesis, Mr. X. I want that looming presence over you, so the actor or whoever's playing actress or actor has that feeling of looking round the shoulder every time. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I don't want any pure action elements in it. And that's about it. I just don't want any action. As in action, I want action, I want shooting and stuff like that. I just don't want over the top Hollywood action. So that are my do's, my do's. That is what I want in a movie. That's what I don't want in a movie. What are you expecting from the Resident Evil movie? Are you expecting it to be action packed? Are you expecting it to be downright horror and terrifying and anxiousness all the way through? And I'll see you guys on the next one.